This one is coming from AITAH. It's posted 13 hours ago. Am I the asshole for wanting to divorce my husband because of his parents' open relationship?
Interesting.
So, I'm 28 female, have a husband, 27 male, and his parents who are in their early 50s and late 40s. Husband and I have 2 kids who are under the age of 10. Let's get straight to the point. My daughter came home from her grandparents' place recently with a new toy. It was expensive, but my in-laws are not that rich, and they're super stingy. I questioned her, and she told me that grandma's and grandpa's special friend got it for me. Instant red flag for me. I questioned my son. Same thing. Went to my husband, and he suddenly was very quiet. I pressed and learned that his parents have an open relationship. I didn't get many details since he was embarrassed and ashamed of the fact, but I blew up. I have no idea who this special friend is. When I take my kids over to their in-laws, they're there to see their grandparents, not their grandparents' special friend. The fact that they let my kids around them was more than enough for me to go full mama bear mode. I fought with my husband that night about keeping that from me. Keeping that from me was huge in my eyes. He let our children go over there knowing his parents were up to stuff. He claimed that it wasn't his business, so it shouldn't be mine either. I said that our kids were exposed to strangers, so yes, it is my business and it should be his too. We didn't reach an agreement. I found out through my kids that almost every time they go over there, there's someone new around. Sometimes my in-laws even leave and let their friends watch my children. I felt sick. I called my mother-in-law and cussed her out. My children are not seeing their grandparents for the foreseeable future, and now my husband is angry with me. My in-laws too. But I'm so angry I can't interact with them. I might go to prison if I do.
Yep.
I want to divorce my husband. He's been angry, pleading, begging, yelling at me, crying, getting me gifts, everything. He's saying I'm throwing everything away over something his parents did. So why punish him and the kids? Why break up a happy family? My friends are saying that I'm overreacting. My husband's friends are calling me an asshole. And the only person on my side is my mom. And now my parents are fighting too because my mom sided with me. I don't think I'm wrong, but the kids miss their grandparents and liked their, quote, friends because they always bought them gifts and played with them. I just don't trust this. I feel like I'm going crazy. Am I overreacting? Right now, I'm in the guest room spiraling. Am I the asshole for wanting a divorce?
I mean, you're not an asshole. That's how you feel. But I do think it's an overreaction a bit. I don't think you should be divorcing your husband for this.
Yeah, like your husband didn't do anything.
Yeah, he's not the one. Like, maybe he could have told you about their open relationship, but I mean, at the same time, it is none of your business.
Yeah, so
I mean, I would tell you just because we have like an open communication, but
Yeah.
like, he is right. It's none of her business because it's.
I don't agree with that.
I guess it is because their kids are around them.
Yeah,
But
right? Like that's the kicker. That's the part where it is her business. But
like,
but if grandparents just had friends over who they weren't sleeping with, would that be a big deal?
that's a good point. Like, yeah, like would she be upset if these were really just friends? Like, has she ever explicitly said to them like no strangers in the house? Like,
Right?
so I mean, I get why she's being overprotective. Like that
100%.
that did give me like an icky feeling
Yeah,
knowing
strangers
like
around my kids
Yeah.
give me an icky feeling.
Yeah.
Like I'm bringing them over to hang out with the grandparents,
Yeah.
not strangers.
Yeah, it's just
The part that would be tipping me over the scale is the fact that the grandparents left the kids alone.
yeah,
It's
I don't like that.
I wouldn't have such a problem if my kids are hanging out with my grandparents and then some of the grandparents or in-laws friends had like come over for the afternoon and they were hanging out together. But I don't think it's appropriate at all that
Yeah.
you're leaving them alone with strangers to the kids and the kids' parents.
Yeah.
So I'm not on board with that.
Also, I don't know. Friends, I feel like friends are different because friends you know longer. But this sounds to be different. This sounds like they said that every time they go, it's a different
Special friend.
special friend.
That's a bigger red flag,
So
too.
that's like a literal stranger. That's just a hookup.
It's just a stranger. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like the neighbors are close friends.
Yeah.
Or like the kids are like the grandparents have these friends and they're coming
They
back and
trust
forth.
them.
And like the kids are seeing the same person a couple different times. and
Yeah.
stuff. But when it's just like a different hookup every single time, it's
Yeah.
like, that's not appropriate to be bringing around your grandkids.
Yeah.
You have an open relationship. You and your wife do.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't bring that around
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah. It's not like you have to think about the kids. Like it's obviously not safe to have a stranger around.
Safe or not, I don't think it's really good to always have a different person introducing to these kids. Like kids kind of need stability growing up,
I mean, the stability would be the grandparents.
I guess.
I don't
know.
think it really that really affects anything, but
Yeah, I can just think if I was a parent, I feel like I would be upset that you're bringing strangers around my kid
yeah, I think I would too.
consistently.
I would too. I'm not disagreeing with her.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think her feelings are valid.
I think her feelings are valid, but I don't know about her feelings about divorcing her husband.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like, you're not an asshole for wanting that because that's how you feel. And if you feel like you can't trust him anymore, like that's how you feel. Like you can't, no one.
Well, it comes down to communication, right? If your husband knew and he purposely hid that from you, he's not communicating with you. He's essentially lying and hiding it from you.
Yeah.
So that would be maybe the grounds for divorce. But depends on.
It just wouldn't be divorce worthy for me.
Depends on
And
the
I'm
husband's
quick
knowledge.
to say divorce.
Yeah, you are. So there's an edit to add. My husband says that he has known about his parents' openness since he was a kid. He claims that his parents have no idea that he even knows.
Oh.
Including now, but I don't believe that. He said that it was never his business. He was embarrassed. He had no idea that his parents are still doing this. He claims he didn't know that they were bringing them around his kids as well. But I don't buy it at all. If they did that when he was a kid, why stop with ours? Forgot to add it since I'm not thinking very well, just word dumping. This is also why I want the divorce. I believe that he knew all along but neglected to tell me. The key piece of information is what's really doing it for me. I need to calm down again before I can properly address anything. Reading some of the comments, I can see that I'm still in angry shock mode and can't make a good decision like this. Thank you guys for your help so far. Yeah, like, if the husband didn't know that the parents are bringing around kids, like, yeah, if his parents have an open relationship, okay, that's their business.
Mm-hmm.
It's awkward. I don't want to talk about this. Do you owe your partner that?
No, I don't think so.
Like, if your parents were in an open relationship, I don't think you have an obligation to tell me about that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would tell you just because I don't you're the only person that I could like tell everything to, but I get why you would keep that from them. She's definitely not obligated to that knowledge.
No.
So
it's not his secret.
Yeah, exactly. It's not his secret to tell. And it's none of her business. But yeah, I don't know. I think you should just go straight to the grandparents and talk about it. Because if you think that he's lying and this is the reason that you want the divorce, why don't you just ask the grandparents?
Yeah.
Like, why would you divorce someone when you're not even entirely sure? He's saying one thing. If you think he's lying, like, just get facts.
Go to the grandparents.
Go straight to the source. Like,
and be like, why did you not tell your son this? And then they can say, well, we did.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is why we didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she's just putting all of her anger into her husband and she can't separate the fact.
Yeah.
Because it was his parents versus his doing.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about I don't know. I don't see the issue hugely if it was, I feel like the issue is I don't know how to feel, but I feel like the issue is a lot bigger because they left him alone with them. Found out that they left him alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's so crazy that just because they have an open relationship, that they're not allowed around their grandkids because they have a friend there.
Yeah, she's making it seem like that's the issue, that like it's the open relationship thing that he didn't share with her. But even if he did share that with her, like, I don't think she would have assumed that they would be bringing them over
Around when
the kids are there.
Yeah.
So, like, would that have actually changed anything? Probably not. Like, then that's still the grandparents' fault. That's not your husband's.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, would it actually have changed anything? Probably not.
I feel like the part that pisses me off is the fact that they were left alone with people that are strangers.
Yeah.
I feel like the grandparents, whether they have an open relationship or they don't, I feel like they should be allowed to invite friends over to their house when they're looking after their grandkids. Now, if they're always doing that...
But like we said, I think friend is different
Yeah.
than, like, stranger.
I feel like the weird part is it's like, aren't you hanging out with your grandkids? Like, why do you need your friends there? Because
Yeah.
if it's the relationship part, it's like maybe they're sleeping there, they're staying there, and they're just always there, versus coming over when the grandkids are there. They were already there. So I don't know.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Top comment. The quote, he claimed it wasn't his business, so it shouldn't be mine either. And the top comment is, if vetting the people who are babysitting your child isn't your business, whose is it then? I'm actually asking. Somebody else replied, the babysitting part is the only relevant part. And then somebody else replied, I agree. Grandparents' open marriage, their shit, their business. NBD. What's NBD?
No big deal.
No big deal. Leaving the kids with unapproved strangers to babysit? Not cool, regardless of their partnership status. I wouldn't feel stoked about learning my kid was being babysit by grandma's friend Jane, regardless of whether or not they had fucked Jane. I do think that OP is overreacting, though. I don't think this is divorce worthy if husband didn't know the kids were being left attended by strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel, I think, on that one.
Yeah, me too.
It's a little cringe, though.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on.
Moving on.